basketball when they've added Buddy Hield and replaced Clay. Buddy Hield is actually playing defense for like one of the first times in his career. He has
Buddy Hield.
Dude, he has the motivation to play defense now, and he's always shot the ball so damn well. So I think that it's going to be, I think that addition's a lot bigger than what people give anything credit for.
Yeah.
My pick tonight is Warriors. I think they're hand Cleveland the first losses. Buddy Hield.
Let's go, buddy.
Yeah.
I think we were prophets, or at least Tommy was a prophet in that, like, didn't know how important Buddy Hield was going to be come playoff time for the Warriors. And,
hey, I'm on record saying I like Buddy Hield. I mean, I'm on record.
There you go. I was just drinking water wearing a Kobe jersey, and Josh wasn't here on that one. Yeah. But welcome, crazy playoffs, man. Crazy playoffs. So,
dude, first 5 games were nuts.
Yeah, it was 6, right? That the road team was it 6 that the road team?
It's 5 or 6. It was way too many. Whatever it was, It's killing me.
Yeah, way too many. Got it. So just fast recap on where we're at after round 1 and the play-in. Trey's up on us by 2 games over me, 1 over Tommy, and Josh needs a lifeline.
I want to thank Nico Harrison.
Yeah, right.
Well, listen. One thing we have to talk about, and there's still time to do it, is do we want to change the point system for the progressive rounds like they do with NCAA? The first round, what we did, well, for the play-in, it was just 1 point for the winner. All right, for the games. Then in the first round of the playoffs, we did 2 points for the winning team and 1 point if you got the number of games right. Do we want to increase the number of points in the second round, third round, and the finals?
Yes, I think so.
All right. Got to give Josh a chance to come back. I mean, he's got to have a chance to make up some points. There's less series, there's less games. So, all right, we'll up it. I'll change the spreadsheet. We'll make it 4 points for the winner and 2 points for the number of games here in round 2, and we'll get that going.
Yeah,
NHL.
Lombard is
Michael Lombard's not lying. NHL playoffs are legit. NHL playoffs are legit. They're really good. An NHL playoff game is worth it.
Yeah, that's the only time I ever watched the NHL. Unfortunately, is the playoffs because it's crazy. But I'm guilty of not tuning in yet, so there's still time.
Yeah, wait till the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I usually do too.
I watched a couple games the Blues were in. Listen, the Blues were up 3-2 with 3 minutes left and lost the game in regulation, or something like that. Or they were down 2 or up 2 goals and lost. Anyways, it was pretty sad here in St. Louis.
Right on.
Do people complain about the NHL and the quality of play like they do NBA, or NHL crowd's pretty quiet?
NHL players play hard every night, dude. You got to go to a game like in the season. Those guys get after it. The only difference is less fighting. In the playoffs, there's more fighting that goes on, but that's about it.
Yeah, I can see that. Lombard is saying nope, so
fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Awesome. So where do we want to start, man? I mean,
Pacers, let's go.
Pacers, yeah.
Pacers are killing me right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was listening to the game 2 on the radio because I was running some errands. I got home. I turned the TV on. There was a minute to go, so I saw everything I needed to see in that game 2 when Cleveland was up 7 with 57 seconds to go and somehow lost that game. I'm like,
they just threw it away.
Yeah,
they legit threw it away.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't want this ball. Here, you can have it, Pacers.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want this rebound. Well,
horrible.
I mean, just crazy. Even the last play, and I know it's hard
by the Pacers. Just
What's
call
that?
it what it is. It's just great plays by the Pacers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Tommy's all about it. For me, that last play, even it's like if you're tied to Jerome and you're guarding him, you got to know the time and the situation. You're not going to give up a 3. You can't give up a 3. What did he do? He overplayed him the drive. It's like just get up on him and force the drive into the help defense. So worst case scenario, you go to overtime. But no, I'm going to let him hit a step back in my face.
Just dagger.
Yeah.
dagger, man.
It sucks too, man, because I mean, to me at that point, Indiana was kind of playing with house money because they weren't supposed to be in it at that point.
Yeah.
And so, if I'm if I'm Rick Carlisle or Halliburton, I'm like, why not go for the win, man? We should not be in this game right now, and you have a chance to actually just steal it back from them.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It was pretty wild, man. I mean, it sucks for Donovan Mitchell. Guy almost put up 50, and
that was a brutal loss. That's
Was.
a franchise crushing loss to
Mhm.
experience something like that. That's going to be hard to come back
Yeah.
from. I think that series unfortunately is over. And I picked Cleveland, but I love the Pacers, so I'm not terribly disappointed. But it's going to cost me 4 points. Actually, it's going to
Yeah.
cost me 6. But whatever.
Yeah, I don't think this series is anywhere close to being over. I think honestly the Pacers are going to play well at home, but I still think they're going to give up 2 games. Ultimately, 1 at home and then the 5th game going back to Cleveland. I still think this is going to go to 6 games.
I got this gut feeling this thing's not getting back to Cleveland. I mean, that's to
Wow.
lose
Listen,
both
I'd
those
love to
games,
see it. I'd love to see it.
man.
It's going back to Cleveland.
But
Yeah.
it's going
It
back
probably
to Cleveland.
will, but my gut is telling me that
Yeah.
we'll see how Cleveland responds. I mean, you're up that big at home and you can't close it out. How do you feel going on the road now? I mean, your confidence has to be shot. I know they're professionals, but like they're humans. Like that's tough to come back from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the
So-
tough part is it's just like, I think the thing that it's really easy for people, even after like games 1 and 2 to kind of be like, oh, the series might be over. But man, I mean, what happens if Cleveland goes and beats them by 22 in this next game? And then all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, snap, Cleveland's back. And then
changes
like going
things.
into game
That-
4, it's easy.
That
Their confidence is there. And, they also played without 3 starters. So I think that's just the tough part is I feel like these playoff series, especially 7 games, is just, it's all like one game by one game, but you definitely you can't just throw away these ones that they did and then also OKC did in their game 1. Like that stuff just is series killing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that you describe, if they win by 20 on the road, that's the only thing that saves this series is they have to win big in game 3.
And they're capable of it.
They win
Yeah.
very small in game 3 or they lose game 3. I mean, it's done.
Well, if they lose, it's definitely done. But I think if they just get a win, that's the biggest thing in game 3 because we always overreact as fans and media to every single NBA game and a 7-game series. The Wolves were done. Now they're a lock.
Okay. Somebody Google real quick what the record is for the team that loses 2 home games in a 7-game series in the NBA. Just somebody Google that. It cannot be good. It cannot be good.
Yeah. All right. Anybody look?
And Cleveland's a good team,
got
but
it.
are they like a history-defying team?
Trey's ordering us.
Trey's getting a little fast.
Chick-fil-A
food
orders
action
coming.
here.
Chick-fil-A, baby. Let's go.
What's the order here, man? What kind of sauce are we going with?
All right. So, so I'm going with the number 2, the spicy chicken sandwich. Yep. With a little Chick-fil-A sauce. Then I go fruit cup. Thank you. I go fruit cup. So I can feel a little bit better about myself coming to Chick-fil-A.
About the fried chicken.
But that's right. But fruit cup just negates the fried. Cole, haven't you learned that? Or Kale, haven't you learned that? So here's what I got. So I got that, and then to make matters worse, I went with a small chocolate shake just because I wanted to feel good about what I'm doing for my daughter. So that's what we got going on.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
All right, so
doesn't
we've
matter.
got the NBA teams that have won a series after losing the first 2 games at home. 69 Lakers, the 94 Rockets, the 05 Mavericks, the 17 Celtics, and the 2021 Clippers. Only
So
5
teams. 5 teams in NBA history have won after losing. And is Cleveland? Would we put Cleveland in the same category with any of those teams? Maybe one of them, but I don't know.
I'll tell you, I found this stat in the Cleveland Cavs subreddit, and the Cavs fans are not feeling very optimistic. This is the top upvoted comment. It says, they could do it, but man, it's all hands on deck. Garland and Hunter have to be back by Friday. They got to have that one.
I mean,
Mobley has to be
they
back by
can do it.
Sunday, and now we're talking.
But they're not gonna.
It's not gonna.
they can do it, but they're not gonna. I mean,
We'll see.
Again, I just-
Woo!
yeah. I picked them. Listen, I'm arguing against my own pick right now, but that's how strongly I feel about this position.
Yeah.
Pacers are good. They're
Pacers
they're
are
very
good.
good,
And
man. Like
They're
they
good. They're
shoot so
battle tested.
efficiently.
They're dogs, man. The Pacers and the
Yeah.
Knicks right now are just absolute dogs.
All right.
I think-
So obviously this doesn't count, but what's your prediction for everybody's prediction for Cavs Pacers series? How many games and who wins it?
No more than
Pacers
5. No more than 5.
5. Tommy's 5.
I got Cavs in 7.
Yeah, I'm still rolling Cavs 7
You're
too.
still rolling. Okay, all right.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
Dude, they're
I
so
love it.
good.
I mean,
They're so good.
I'll be pleasantly surprised if they pull this off. Obviously, but that's
It
if
literally
you thought
takes
they had
one
pressure
game.
in game 2, I mean, they got pressure now in game 3. We'll see if they can rise to it.
Yeah, I mean, you could see, but like you could say that about. I think this next game is going to be super telling, man, because I think the energy just shifts and changes if you just lose one. And I mean, the Pacers are also one of these teams, man, where like sometimes they just shoot like total lights out, and then the next game it's just they're a different team. And I think the Wolves are honestly in that same category. But the Cavs had the record that they had for a reason. They're injury plagued right now, and if they get somewhat healthy, and I think if they're able to just figure some stuff out on defense, then yeah, man. I mean, I don't know.
We
I
at
still
least
think
agree
top
that they
to bottom,
have to
they're the better
win game 3. We at least
Oh,
agree
yeah.
on that. They have to win game 3.
Yes, no doubt. If they don't win game 3, this series is done.
And in my opinion, they got to win big to get the momentum back. If they squeak a win out, yes, it's a victory, but they need to win big and get a boost of confidence and let Indiana know that game 4 is going to be a lot harder than they think. They got to have that happen.
Yeah, I think
It'll be
for
fun.
me it's game by game. Get to game 4, 2-2, and then it's a 3-game series. If you're
This is one of the things I love about NBA, Major League Baseball, and hockey is that it's not a one and done. I mean, obviously Super Bowl and NFL playoffs, they can't do that, and it's got its own kind of magic. But this is what makes this fun. Is that it's almost like a batter in baseball. Every pitch changes the equation. It changes the probability.
Yep.
Every game changes the scenario. I love that.
I would agree. All right. Anything else on that series? As crazy as it's been.
If they win this, Tyrese Halliburton's dad, somebody get a hold of him. Is he in the building? Where is he?
John Halliburton. Shout out John Halliburton.
Keep him off the court.
Oh man.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. That was a joke. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was bad.
Stupid.
No, dude, I'm happy for Tyrese because of the whole overrated thing. I mean, I think that's a shitty goal to even have go out to players and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, there's a part of me that also likes it, and I think Tyrese is leaning into it, and good for him, man. Because
he's a dog, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's just kind of a really stupid thing, and I mean, I think the majority of that did come from him actually being on Team USA, and then obviously not getting any playing time and all that, and then he wasn't an all-star this year, so that also played another factor. But yeah, good for him to kind of just lean into that, and I mean, he's fun to watch, man. He's like a very unique, true point guard that we don't really have as much of, and obviously he's just kind of unique with his skill set, his size, and his shot's not the prettiest, but it's pretty accurate. But he's one of the clutchest players in the league now. Like, there's just no denying it. So, at the end of the day, though, the other tough part for me with the whole series is, I think if the Cavs get healthy, they still have the best player in the series in Donovan Mitchell. He's still the best player on the court at any time, and he's a dog. And yeah, they're gonna win in 7.
Yeah, I think he's gonna put up a 50-piece before the series is over.
If he puts up another 40-piece, then he's top 10.
Yeah, I think he's going for 50 because he's not going to leave this game to chance. He's like, I scored 48 and it wasn't enough. I think it was 48 or 47, something like that. So
it's a tough loss.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so other fun series in the East. The Knicks, who saw that coming, up 2-0 over Boston? I never thought that would happen. I mean, at least with the Pacers, it was like, okay, I could see that. But the Knicks,
look, I mean, it makes sense looking back. That Detroit series really toughened them up, and man, they just are playing like they got something to prove. You don't take into consideration how Boston's coming off of last year, and I don't know. I'm actually not that surprised. But
Yeah, I think at some point, I don't remember when I said it. I'm like, it's hard to repeat, and
So
you know, for Boston, it's like, are they going to be as hungry? And they
Mm-hmm.
just haven't had
Yep.
that dominant look to them that like they had last year.
no, they look content. They look like, we made it to the playoffs. We're in the second round. We're playing the Knicks. They just look like I'm kind of ready for summer vacation, and I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that wears on you too is like when you do make those big runs year after year, is how many more games do you have, and how much does that
Right, your
impact
off season's
you?
a lot shorter. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know?
I mean, some teams are good at it, like the Chiefs. So some people can manage that type of thing. But I guess the Celtics can't.
It wouldn't be a Brokers and Ball episode without the Chiefs getting slid in here.
I know. Man.
And on May 9th.
I mean, you
May
set me
9th.
up for it, dude. You set me up for it. I had to take it.
Oh man.
All right. So, yeah, go ahead, Josh.
I still think Boston wins this series. They've shot terrible.
Okay,
They still have.
hold on.
They,
So 5 teams have done this in history, and you think 2 of them are going to do it this year? That's what you're telling me. 5 teams in history have done this, and 2 are going to do it this week.
Great. Both these teams are like clearly the 2. They're clearly top 3 in the league, just like top to bottom roster wise and all this kind of stuff. So
Yeah, but it doesn't matter in the moment. Right now, it makes the pace high.
I get what you're saying, but even in Boston's case, they've shot terribly. They're not going to continue to shoot like this. Like Tatum and Brown have had horrible shooting. They literally just need one of the other to just like have an average game, and neither of those are even close games. Like they're both at least 10-point. Like they're probably 10-point wins, if not more.
Yeah, because they had 20-point leads in both of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. I don't know why they're shooting. I mean, I feel like Boston's been shooting a ton of threes, and I know it's kind of like part of their strategy, but with Tatum and Brown and like their size and their strength and everything, it doesn't make sense for them not to go to the basket more. I mean, Ant did a good job switching it up the other night, and in the first Warriors game where he basically almost put a goose egg in the first half, and then just like went to the cup and was just getting bucket after bucket. But the fact that Boston has shot that poorly and they've lost both games by 1 is very good reason that, again, Trey, here's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is if they both win their next games, the outlook on the whole series is very different.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone else getting on this crazy train that Josh is riding? And is anyone else jumping on this theory that 2
I'm all
teams
in, baby.
are going to come back after being down 2-0?
Boston,
when
Celtics in 7.
five in
Boston,
history have
Celtics
done
in
it,
7.
and 2 are going to do it this year?
No, one are
This
going to do it
crazy
this
train.
year, and it's going to be the Celtics.
Loco.
No, it's going to be the Celtics.
I could-
I'm with
maybe one.
Rare.
2?
Listen, rare.
There's 34
rare,
teams that have done this. I just looked it up. This is
Rare-
0-2 deficits.
Rare time that
0-2
I
deficits, losing at
agree
home.
with Josh.
What'd you say, Tommy?
Rare time I agree with Josh here.
Man,
They're
it feels
gonna
good
come
to have
back.
Tommy on my side for once.
Listen, it does. This is great. I feel so great being on the Josh Wiles train.
Yeah.
Listen, they're going to come back. The Celtics have played like absolute trash on the offensive side of the ball. Knicks have played really well on defense. I think if you get a good Tatum game, a good Brown game, one or the other, like Josh said, they win either of these games by 10 or 15 points. Problem is they played like crap, and I don't think they're going to play like crap for another 5 games. I think you may have an off game here or there, but this team has been together for so long. They've been in this situation plenty of times. They can fight back. They've lost by a combined 4 points in 2 games. I'm not worried.
I
about
don't
the
disagree.
Celtics.
They can. I'm saying they won't. Listen,
Just like
can
the
be-
Chiefs, they can come back from adversity.
you can be the best team in baseball, but man, if you get cold hitting, or for example, like it doesn't matter. Like it's hard to get that back. If you're not shooting the ball well, if you're not seeing the ball go in the basket, mentally that is hard to get back. I don't care how good you are. That is hard to get back
They'll be
quickly.
fine.
They got to get it back in
They'll be fine, dude. These are 2 of the best players in the NBA. They're both top 15 players, man. They can bounce back from one night.
Yeah. So I'm on the crazy
Too
train
nice.
too. Because
Oh my goodness!
think
Everybody's on
Boston's
the
gonna
crazy
come back.
train.
Let's go, Kale. Come on, Kale.
You know, I don't like to say that because I am not a Boston fan, obviously.
I'm not either. They're
They're
probably my
still good.
least favorite team. You
Yeah.
know?
Same.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
This is mutiny. Everybody's going against me on this. What's
It's because you
happening?
wore the green shirt. We had to go against you. You know.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That is what it is. Oh,
Green
man.
shirt.
And your
red
confusing
glasses.
Chick-fil-A order.
Yeah.
It's not confusing, Josh. It's just makes me feel better about myself. All right. So,
It's strategic.
It is strategic. We got to give props to Jalen Brunson too, man. That guy is an absolute killer in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Mr.
And-
Clutch.
Mr. Clutch, man. And they literally just go 4 low, 1 high, and just let him just take whoever he's got. And I mean, man, like his footwork and just the way he uses his body and just like is able to get to the foul line, create contact, create space is just man, it's so cool to see because he's just not the most athletic guy in the league. And I mean, it's hard to argue if there's a better closer than him. I'd still put Steph up there, but dude's
Yeah.
a dog.
Yeah. I always love when a guard that's smaller guard that just can go in there and just do the things they do and
play big. Play big.
yeah. Yeah, play way above their size, punch above their weight, whatever term you want to use, but they get it, they understand, and it was funny because I had a meeting yesterday. I was talking to somebody about this. It's like some people shrink when the lights get really bright, and some people look for that moment, when the lights are the brightest, and that's when they excel. Other people are trying to get rid of the ball, they're trying to shrink, they're trying to just they're shooting just you can see their shots different, they're timid, but a guy like Brunson, he's ready for it, man. He's proven
So ready for it. Yeah. Killer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun to watch.
So game 3, we're all saying Boston, other than Trey, is that Boston's going to win tonight
Oh yeah.
in the Garden.
Trey might be going sweep. Trey might be going 2 sweeps here.
Yeah.
I'm not going 2 sweeps because I'm not crazy. All right. Listen, I'm not saying they can't win. I'm saying they're not going to win the series. That's what I'm saying.
All right. I love it.
We didn't get to see your daughter. You just dropped the food at the counter.
No, I
How
just
do you
dropped it off in the office. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't go. I can't go back where they are. I mean, I guess I could, but we're on a podcast. I gotta stay focused here.
Yeah.
Make sure
Gonna lock in.
I got to make sure this thing doesn't go totally off the rails. I don't know what you guys are going to say next.
What's the next series we got?
Well, we got to go west. So do we want to go the one that's I think is going to be a blowout the rest of the way? And I'm not talking the Warriors. I'm talking OKC and the Nuggets.
You think that one's a blowout the rest of the way?
I just feel like Oklahoma City was sleepwalking that first game, and now they're not.
Yeah.
See, they respond. See, that's the difference.
Yeah.
They responded. They came
Mhm.
back. Way different.
So
Yeah, I guess the big question is, does Denver really respond tonight? Do they have any answer for what they can put up? I don't know. I think they can win another game. I don't think that it's a pure sweep. I think it goes to 6 overall, but yeah, I think Oklahoma City is just too powerful for Denver.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. 6 games. They'll find a way to win one. But overall, I think that they're just too good. They're too. I mean, what they score 87 points in the first half the other night?
Unbelievable. Looked like an
Yeah,
all-star
it's pretty
game.
wild.
I mean,
Like an all-star.
87 points. Were they even trying to slow them down or play defense?
No, didn't look like it.
I mean, that's where Lombard's
Yep.
comment. It's like, I mean, I would disagree a bit. In the playoffs, they let them play more, but in that game, Denver didn't get the memo that you can actually hand check occasionally. So
Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't watch the game, but I just I feel like from watching the Warriors after all these years and how they would get beat by 30 points and stuff, that like I don't know, man. I think it's just one game where it was kind of a combination of bad shooting performance, probably bad defense. Again, I didn't really watch it, so I can't really speak to it because it was just a late game. But Denver's got championship DNA, so I don't know, man. Like I'm curious to see how game 3 goes, but you still have one of the best 2 players in the world on your team. And yeah, they shouldn't have really won game 1 either, because OKC definitely threw that one away. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Denver looks tired and old. They look tired and old. and I
Yeah.
definitely think they shouldn't have won that first game. I don't think they have an answer. I think they might get it to 6 games, but I don't think they have much of an answer.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sticking with 6 games on
Yeah.
that one. I just feel like there's been too much turmoil that's been distracting. Plus, they do look a little bit maybe tired and old. I don't know if old, but they just look lethargic and tired, and they're just not the same. I mean, Denver, even up to last year until they lost Game 7 and that comeback, I felt like they were the favorite. Because they
I
just
think the one thing for Denver,
what's that?
Denver also just doesn't have a
I'm
bench.
saying compared
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and compared to OKC, they do look old. I'm gonna say it. They do look old
Yeah.
compared to OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are old. I think most
Yeah,
people are old.
everybody's old
They
compared
are
to
old
OKC.
compared to OKC.
Yeah. I mean, what's their average age? Like, I'd have to look it up, but I know they got a lot of 23-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
So.
24, I think. Really young.
24.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody's still on that one. The one that hurts my heart a little bit is the next one with
I know,
the
man.
Warriors.
Dude, I was so frustrated last night, man. I was so frustrated watching that game. Like, I wanted to honestly turn it off midway through the third quarter because this is just my take. I'm going to go on a quick monologue here. You have Steph Curry out, right? And now you have to like look at your team and you have to say, okay, cool. Like, where's the scoring going to come from and all this kind of stuff. And they came out just ultra flat with not even like, I mean, they scored 5 minutes. I'm sorry, like 5 points with like 4 or 5 minutes left in the first quarter. But the thing that pisses me off, man, is just like Jimmy Butler. There's a point in the middle of the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes left. They had kind of like made a run and then they let Minnesota go back on another run, get a couple wide open threes. DiVincenzo and Reed were hitting threes. And the thing that's just like frustrating to me is you look at the box score. Jimmy's played 31 minutes. He's 6 of 11 from the field. He's 2 of 2 from 3. And like the fact that he's only got 11 shots just irritates the hell out of me.
Mm.
Because it's like, dude, who else are you going to rely on to actually score? And you have to say, okay, cool, man. Steph's out of the game. Like, you literally have to just, like, in my opinion, even going into game planning, you have to say, you're now removing however many shots that Steph shoots a game, which is probably like, I don't know, 20 to 22. I don't know what the number is. I would bet it's at least 20. So now
25.
you have to say, okay, cool. Well,
Yeah,
it could be 25. Now you have to say, where are these 20 to 25 shots going? And I feel like common sense says, okay, Jimmy's got to get 10 of those.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
10
at
of
least
Steph's
that,
25 shots have to go to Jimmy. And he's literally shot 11 and he's over 50% from the field and you haven't missed from 3. That's the shit that's frustrating to me. And you're like, and Moody and Pajemski are just having terrible series right now, which
Moody
is
is
okay. 'Cause, like,
garbage right now.
I mean, Moody airballed that 6-footer. That was embarrassing. But that's the thing is like Jimmy's not even looking at the basket, man. He's just literally looking to dish. And then like you're getting all these shot clock violations because you're not even looking at the basket. And it's like, dude, you're literally capable of doing this, man. You literally lifted Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent to a finals.
I know. I want that was in the bubble, right? I want bubble Jimmy.
Bubble Jimmy, come on, man. Shoot the
know?
ball.
You know, when you
Yeah.
break that down,
Ball.
think about that. That is it's less than 3 shots a quarter. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, he ended up with
Insane.
13 shots yesterday. And that was like when I texted you, I'm like, he's just throwing grenades to his own
Pathetic.
teammate. I mean, giving Moody the ball with 2.3 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah.
Duquesne already hit one right now, man. He clearly has the yips.
Yeah.
What
I
are we
mean,
doing?
He airballed one and he got blocked on the other. And then, like you said, yeah, he airballed the 6-footer. You're just like, no, get him out.
Yeah. What's going on?
Frustrating.
You know? And
I
then
mean,
you got
have some heart, man.
Yeah, you got 2 guys that off the bench with Kuminga and Jackson Davis that played really well.
Jackson Davis
Yeah.
hooped last night. He looked great.
Yeah, and Kuminga had 11 shots. He had almost as many as Jimmy and Buddy. I mean, that's fine, but they should be taking 20 shots or more. You know,
least.
Jimmy should be taking the most shots because Buddy can't create off the dribble. It's
Right.
kind of a catastrophe when Buddy starts putting the ball on the floor.
unless it's
But-
in fast break, that's the only time I want to see Jimmy, or I mean,
buddy.
Buddy
That's
going
it.
to the hoop.
Right.
You know, defense isn't set. He can curl on the and hit baseline and finish. But other
Catch
than
and
that,
shoots.
yeah,
Catch and shoots.
yeah, just be a dog out there. Just and that's it's weird to watch the Warriors to me without Steph because the ball flies around with Steph's on the court, and they're trying to make the ball fly around, but it's a panicked fly around.
Yeah.
And it's like it's such a different thing. You're like, how are they just not understanding? And I understand what Steph does to the defense, but it's like get some off ball movement. You can't just have 4 guys stand around the perimeter and swing the ball and expect to be wide
Swinging
open.
it around.
It's like you got to get somebody cut, and you got to drive and dish. And then you can do 2 passes, and you got a wide open guy. I mean, it's like go back to like middle school, get a paint touch, and kick the ball out in 2 passes, and it's wide open. It's not hard,
No.
So that's where Jimmy's got to where he's got to create is driving and then dishing, but he also needs to be thinking in his mind, I need to be taking 20, 25 shots, and
Go to the
making
cup, man.
He needs 12 free throws.
Yeah.
It's a great point.
He needs to shoot 12 free throws and 20 shots, and then they got a chance.
Yeah. How many free throws did he shoot last night?
Less
Less than 6.
It's weird. It's not showing. Why am I not seeing free throws? He was 60%. So what is that?
He shot 4 free throws last night. That's just not aggressive enough, man.
Yeah.
Just not aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah, I think last night was definitely a feeler game for Kerr to kind of figure out who can he play with who, and who's kind of ready to show up. I mean, I was like joking about Pat Spencer, but Pat didn't have a good game last night, and Charles Barkley also made a good point. He's like, they don't have a backup point guard. They don't have anybody to calm stuff. Like at this point, you're supposed to rely on Jimmy to do that stuff, and clearly he's not. Because he should be calling for screens. He should be getting mismatches, taking those guys off the dribble, bumping, leaning into him, like getting the 12 free throws a game. But that honestly is, I think, one of the advantages for the Pacers that they have, because for the Pacers, like they have 2 legit point. Like Andrew Nembhard can go and start on a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
He's that good, like scoring, facilitating, just like controlling the game. He's very comfortable in the playoffs. And Steph historically has had Jarrett Jack. He's had Ian Clark. He's had, all these other guys, Sean Livingston, like all these guys that when Steph's off the court, these guys can sort of like run the motions and like get guys into their spots, get them open shots and stuff, score when they need to. And they don't have that person. I mean, it's at this point, it has to be Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Because Bajimski is just. I'm not sold on that guy, man. I know he has some games occasionally, but I'm just as a Warriors fan, I'm just not there. Matt Dahl's saying the T-Wolves are winning it all. So there's games I really like.
Matt, I'm sorry. They're not.
So listen, we're talking about what's wrong with the Warriors and if they can make it back. Let's talk about what's right with the Timberwolves. Anybody want to talk
Jaden
about that?
McDaniels,
Oh wait, I was
man.
the only one that picked him. Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Trey. Tell us about these Timberwolves.
Yeah.
They're young. They're hungry. They want it. They are adjusting well. They're going to take advantage of Steph being out and the chaos that's ensued right now with Golden State. And I'm feeling really good about my pick right now.
You should. I mean, they're going to win the series.
I think if the Warriors can win game 3 or 4 and keep it tied, that gives them hope. But if they lose game 3 and 4, especially at home, then it's done.
Let me tell you what Minnesota's thinking right now. Right, the longer this series goes, the worse their chances to win because Curry can come back. So they are going to come in and try to really deliver a knockout blow here in game 3 and 4, and make this put the pressure on Golden State. There's a little bit of pressure to win those games, but they're tasting a little blood in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only reason it's that way is because Steph is out. I mean, we clearly know Steph's impact of what he can do scoring, but what he does to the rest of the game. The one thing I always look at is like their defense is so connected, and when you have a guy that's like Steph, maybe he's not a great on-ball defender. He's not a bad defender, but because of his size, he's not going to be that guy. But he just keeps them connected.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's glue. That's right.
Like he made, I forget what it was. It was game 1. They had a fast break, and he just picks up the ball and stops the fast break. Those are the things that great point guards do. They understand.
Yep.
I don't need to make the steal. I just got to slow it down and control the defense and let the defense come so that we're not in a disadvantage.
And this is what you think Jimmy would do. You think that Jimmy would step in and kind of play that role with his experience, and he's not. He didn't.
Yeah, I forget the play last night, and maybe it was Buddy or somebody took a 3, and I think it was McDaniel that beat him down. He just leaked out after he shot. It's like, bro, you shot, get back. Or somebody else at the top, in my opinion, has got to play safety in that. You got to identify that. And, Trey, you made a comment on one of the games last week and about the Warriors needed to score a certain amount. I'm like, no, you want a dogfight. As a Warriors fan, they win those 90 to 89 games.
Correct.
Yep.
And so you can't let them, because Minnesota is a lot younger, they're going to get out and they're going to push. So you can't let them beat you with their athleticism. You're playing right into their game plan, so.
True.
That take was totally wrong on my part. I got to admit that. That was a bad take.
Yeah, so.
Thanks for reminding me of that. Appreciate it.
No problem. So Matt says all 10 of ESPN experts picked the Lakers. People forget Ann has knocked out Jokic, Booker, Durant, now LeBron, but he hasn't won the ship, so it doesn't. None of that matters.
Not yet.
Hey,
he's growing in his progression. Listen,
I don't think they're going to.
Jordan didn't win early on either, and I'm not comparing the two, but I'm just saying, like Jordan, we think is the best playoff basketball player maybe in all time in history, and it took him a while to figure all this stuff out.
Yeah. No, I'm a big Ant fan. Just I don't think it's their year.
No, I don't either. I'm not sold on Julius Randle. I mean, 2 of my favorite players in the NBA are Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid. I freaking love watching those two, man. Like they both lock in on defense, and then they both just make good plays on offense. McDaniels is a better offensive player than I thought. He's just smooth, and then it's like he's kind of like Gary Payton, where like he scores and then he's just like pressing you on defense.
Yeah,
straight face, picking up 94 feet, and I freaking love that stuff.
Minnesota probably needs one more piece to the puzzle to really be a contender. But you never know. Might surprise
you never know. They got a chance.
Might go on a run.
Maybe like a 7-foot center.
You get to this point. You get to this point, and anybody has a shot at least. I mean, you don't get to this point without being a great team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, I don't know if he was on the first part. You guys like the Pacers to win it against Cleveland, so let's rehash that.
Matt, let me tell you what's going on here.
We're
It's crazy,
split,
Tim. You missed. We're not split. You guys are crazy. Listen, this is what we talked about, Matt. In the history of the NBA, Matt, only 5 teams have lost the first 2 home games in a 7-game series.
34, Trey. 34.
Home games.
Home games. All right.
Home game doesn't matter as much as it used to.
Only 5. Hey, let's just let history tell the story, guys. Let's just let history tell the story. Okay. Only 5 teams have lost the first 2 games at home and come back and won a series. And these fools think 2 of them are going to do it this week. Crazy talk, Matt. Crazy.
Dude, it all depends on the teams, right? Like, you've got my Atlanta Hawks from
You're saying that these 2 teams are like historically good teams. That's what you're saying right here.
Yeah.
Compared to those.
In comparison to the remainder of the league and the reason why their records were so good, yes, like absolutely.
Going against the Knicks,
starters, bench wise,
Pacers,
everything.
Who are dogs? Mr. Clutch is on the Knicks, not on the Celtics. Matt is crazy talking around here. We're bringing it back up. I love it.
No. I just think that
man, I love this.
And I picked both of them. I picked Cleveland and Boston. It's not like I don't like the teams. I picked them.
Yeah,
but
I just think Boston is too good, too deep, and they have had the 2 worst games possible from a shooting perspective.
Too complacent, too happy.
Yeah, I think that they're going to make it happen. I think that the more of the wild card for me is the Cleveland and the Pacers, because the Pacers have played exceptionally well.
They're playing so well.
They've closed really well. Where that last minute of game 2 was just an epic collapse. There were so many things that went wrong that shouldn't. I mean, they just threw the ball away, offensive foul. I mean, it was just.
And the Pacers took advantage of every one of them.
Yeah, and not boxing out on a missed free throw. They're going to miss, letting the guy drive. It's just like,
yeah,
he was the shooter and he got the rebound.
And these are the teams that you guys think are going to come back and make history. These are the teams.
Because
for sure,
the complacent Celtics and the Cavaliers who don't block out on free throws. These are the teams.
No. Stop. We're not going to say complacent Celtics. We're going to say championship Celtics.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to say. They just won the championship.
How many teams have repeated in the NBA? Look that one up. How many teams have repeated in the NBA?
If the Chiefs can do it, the Celtics can do it. I mean,
exactly.
You're putting the Celtics in the same category as my Chiefs? That's funny.
I'm putting them above the Chiefs. That's what I'm doing, because they got 19 banners.
Oh boy, it's getting spicy.
You set me up for that one, Trey. I had to take that one, man. That was like a softball, man.
Yeah, but like half of them were from the 1960s.
Oh, hey,
maybe more than half. Probably 2/3 are from the 1960s.
Oh, I know. They had 11 in a row or whatever. 11 with Bill
Russell. They had 11 and 13. Yeah, 11 and 13 years. Yeah.
I mean, I hate the Celtics, but I do.
Matt, you see what I'm talking about? This is crazy talk. Exactly. Thank you, Matt. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. All it takes is one game for the tone and the energy to shift. That's all it's going to take.
I totally agree, because after game 1 of the Warriors, it was like, oh, this series is over, even though they don't have staff, and now it's like the series is over because they don't have staff. So
I can't wait for next week's show.
Minnesota and Boston shot historically poor in their first games.
Yeah.
So you just can't count on. Like, Anthony Edwards had 1 point, man. He literally missed all threes and all his layups. Like, his layups were, and that's even the thing last night. They won handedly last night. Ant missed probably 4 layups that he normally would hit.
Yeah.
And 2 of them would have been and ones.
Matt, you see what's happening here? They're shifting the conversation away from their crazy talk.
Tommy, let's give you a chance. What else you got, man?
Oh, man. I don't know, man. I just think the Pacers are gonna do it. I'm not crazy. I chose the Pacers
from the get-go.
But again, Boston's gonna do it.
Pick.
I think one out of 2, I think is gonna do the upset. So
yeah.
How many games for the Pacers, Tommy?
So my Pacers fandom is saying 5 games. Now, the realistic side of me is saying it's still going to go 6 or 7 games. But the fan in me wants to say 5 games. They're going to win 1 game, the 3rd game, maybe the 4th game in Indiana, and they'll steal it in Cleveland. But realistically, I think go 6 games.
Fair. I mean, it's a safe selection.
Yeah. I think to Matt's point here, I think what you see is that people forget Minnesota was favored to win the series before Steph went out. Agreed. A lot of that's they're the home team. But if Steph was healthy, I would have. I mean, we picked 3 out of the 4 of us picked the Warriors. Maybe
that's right. 3 of the crazies, Matt. 3 of the crazies picked the Wolves over the Warriors. You see a trend here, Matt? There's a trend. Clear as day.
Yeah, clear as day. There's one guy going the other way, and we're the crazies. All right. What else? So we got 2 games tonight. Thunder, Nuggets, Cavs, Pacers. I'm going Cavs. I think Josh and I are going Cavs. You guys are leaning towards Pacers. It sounds like.
It's a must-win game. It's a must-win game for the Cavs, no doubt about it.
No doubt. Is Garland back?
That I don't know.
I mean, it's a big factor.
Yeah. And then tomorrow we got Warriors, Wolves. and Celtics. I'm gonna go Celtics in that game. And then, man, I really want the Warriors to win, but I don't know if they're gonna win that game. I just don't
Tough.
know.
No. Games. I mean, it should go 5 now at this point.
Yeah. I mean, they got to win one of the next two. Obviously, we already outlined what Jimmy's got to do. It'll be interesting to see. I think they need to play Kevon Looney more.
Yeah,
that guy
slow the game down.
Yeah, I mean, he gets a lot of rebounds, offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities, and that's what they have to have because they got killed. I don't know the stats in game 2, but Dante seemed to get every loose ball, or Jaden McDaniels got every loose ball, and it's like you can't. When you don't have your best player, those are the things you got to do. So, and then we got Sunday back to the same. So it'll be interesting. We'll see. Trey's just looking at next week. He's already thinking about who's going to stay next week.
Trey's already thinking conference finals right now, man.
Yeah.
I think Jamal Murray has a big game tonight. Out of all the teams and everybody and players and whatnot, I think he's going to have a big game.
Yeah. Yeah, him and Mitchell. I'm going Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
Excited to see how everybody's feeling tomorrow morning after these.
See,
I'm looking forward to it.
We have to have an emergency press conference if some things change in the next couple of days.
Yeah, we might have to. Trey's going to be like, guys, I'm going to change up my stuff real quick.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Trey's like, I see what you guys were saying. It makes sense now.
It could also be really bad to where Trey gets us all.
It could be. I'm gonna have a cigar, just laying back with a cigar, just going, talk to me, boys. Tell me what you think.
He's taking the safe road, though. We're putting our necks out there. I mean, Josh and I are like, we're on the chopping block.
Yeah, I'm good for it.
Yep, exactly.
We'll see what happens. They got to play the games.
Yep.
All right. Let's
Cool.
see how it goes.
All right, fellas.
Enjoy. Go.
Peace out, y'all.
Go to Cavs.
Go Cavs.
Let's go, Pacers.
See you guys.
See you guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
Let's go.